was a little sweeter.
All right, so we're here with Jonathan Gaskins and Ronnie Habgood at Salt Log Lodge. Down here, going to talk about how this place got started and how it's come about and some of the clients they've run through and just some good stories. I've heard so much from my barbershop and from one of my good buddies, Trey Renfro, and gotten to know Ronnie good that this place just always interests me so much, and I wanted to come down there and do a podcast with y'all, and I really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So I'll start out with you, Ronnie, because I know you was the first one that was in here. So tell me a little bit about how Salt Log come about.
Salt Log, the hunting lodge?
Yeah, the hunting lodge.
We was killing a lot of hogs out here, and we decided that we needed to turn the public on to it because it was fun. And we would try to plant food plots and stuff, and the hogs would take over. You know how it is in the river swamp. They was taking over and eating all our stuff, and finally I looked at him and said, "Let's me and you run this thing. Let's Jonathan." I asked Jonathan, let's run at this. You know what I mean? I think we can do it. And he said, "Yeah," and here we are.
So y'all had worked for a guy that had bought the land and the property, and you was doing work for him, and it kind of funneled into y'all both kind of taking over it and turning it into a lodge, if I'm correct.
That's exactly what's happened, yep.
And so, Jonathan, you've been down here how many years?
23 years, I think. 23 years. 23
years. And what year did y'all actually first start the lodge?
2019.
2019, we made Salt Log.
Right. So it's been going on for close to 7 years now? 7 years.
Yep.
So what makes you really love this place so much?
It's just everything about it, and it's mine and Ronnie's second home. Well, it is Ronnie's home altogether, but
right.
We're either here or we're at the house for me. But the people that come in, we've made so many good friends and relationships, and a lot of people come back, and it's those friendships and all that really just that drives us to do what we're doing.
Right.
I mean, we've got some great friends that's been here since the beginning that haven't left, and that's a lot.
So when y'all decided to turn it into a lodge, and this is just me sitting here with curiosity, had this been built? Had the guy who owned this property, had he built this lodge already, and this was like part of his, and y'all ended up going in with him? Like, I know I've heard some of your stories, Ronnie, saying that, we kind of went our way of being able to run the thing like we wanted to. Had he built this and y'all added on to it, or did y'all build all this to make the lodge?
He bought, when we come to work here in 2003 is when we come to work for this company, for Robin Lauderman. I come here for about a month then I hired Jonathan. And then we've been at it ever since. Me and Jonathan's actually, like I told you, we've got history all the way back to he was 17 years old.
Yeah.
I was working for his dad, and he come to work for us. But when I come out here, this was all out in the open. This was just open.
Open fields.
That fireplace was outside.
Oh,
this was all outside.
So it had a roof and all on it, but it was just outside.
But it was just outside, and had picnic tables sitting out here. And they had to remember in the kitchen when we had the walk-in cooler for the animals. We cleaned the animals out there and dragged the hogs through the kitchen to get them in there. It was just a bad design, but over the years we've gotten it better,
So when y'all decided to put it together as a lodge and kind of lease it from the landowner and take it over yourself, y'all built the whole lot, put the lodge together then?
He built the lodge. He come in and he built this part at one stage, and then he added on the back half the new kitchen, and then we built the whole other side for them. But they done gotten older and kind of they're more of wing shooters, and we got another plantation out in Thomasville.
Right.
So they went, they just wasn't coming as much. And I told him, I said, I think that me and Jonathan, if Jonathan's game, that we can get his money back for his lodge and all. And it's just worked out to be great for everybody.
Well, that's good.
For all of us.
That's really good, because I can tell. I know talking to you, I can tell how much you love it. And me and Jonathan, we've been talking about an hour or so before this podcast and how much he loves it. And just the river swamp, if you ain't never hunted the river swamp, it's just a different character and a different ball game. And it's just, I don't know, it's true to me what God's country is about. And I've been able to go out and hunt the Midwest and hunt a lot of places. And if anybody asks what's the best places I've ever hunted, I'd say right down here on the Oconee River. That's me.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, because I was blessed to hunt right across the river for years from y'all, and it's nothing like it to me, really. So, how many guides do y'all have working for y'all? How many people do y'all have working for y'all?
Anywhere from 5 to 7 people at a time.
Throughout the year,
yeah.
And a lot of them come and go, right? Summertime,
They do.
you bear it down to just a couple, and then they come back throughout the hunting season.
Yeah, during the summer, we're down to about me, Ronnie, and one other person.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And so what does the summer work?
And my wife.
And your wife?
Yeah, she's a big part of all this too.
Yes.
Well, that's good. That helps. You know what I mean?
Ooh,
When
it
you
helps
got a
me.
wife that wants
It helps me.
to be a part of it, that's a big ordeal. So, you know, that helps a lot. So, you know, everybody thinks, oh, man, and I was even one of these, you know, coming up through the years, I'd just love to have a hunting plantation. I'd love to be able to own a hunting plantation. But y'all hit on a little bit of how much work goes into this hunting plantation, you know.
Yeah. So we stay busy. I mean, we're always doing road work. There's 42 miles of roads. If you take everything and come back, it's river swamp, so it's mud. It gets ruddy. There's lots of road work. There's always trees trying to grow up. I mean, we're working 40 hours a week, if not more, during the summertime, all trying to get ready for the next hunting season. And it's just day in and day out. Tractor work, cutting grass, filling feeders twice a month, and I think we put out 20 55-gallon drums roughly every 2 weeks of feed. And that takes a lot of time.
Yeah,
Year round.
So how big, since you're on that subject, how big is your feeder? How much feed does your feeders hold? Y'all, I know y'all had, and I've looked at the pictures of where y'all's feeders and all are at. They hold like.
So we got 1,200-pound feeders, 1,000-pound feeders,
and
700-pound feeders. And we go through a little over 200,000 pounds of feed a year.
Right.
So it's a lot.
And that's all protein feeders. That a lot of corn too.
It's a mix.
Mixture.
It's a mix. We mix all of our protein with corn to make it last a little bit longer.
Do y'all have? Do y'all run any spin feeders?
We do during when we're just attacking hogs.
So you get them
After deer season, kind of.
right. Get the spin feeders up. Get the hogs to coming into them on that time.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Because that really does help and work with hogs.
Yep.
They like that noise. They get used to that noise.
So how many clients do y'all usually run through here a year?
I don't have a great number, but let's just say maybe 150 to 200, maybe. And I could be wrong on that number. We do a lot of corporate groups, and those guys will bring in 20, 25 for a weekend. So, I mean, if you do a few weekends like that, it adds up, especially on the hog hunters. On the deer hunters, we're shooting for 10 to 12 people per hunt.
Right.
So.
And so I know this side over here is your little hangout area and your kitchen and everything, and then on the other side is you got bedrooms, and I think some on the back side of this is bedrooms. So how many bedrooms do you have here?
We got 10 bedrooms total. Actually, we got 12 bedrooms total if you count the bunk room and the guide room. But we have 22 beds available. There's 10 full baths also available with that.
Right.
Yeah.
So the guide room, do they all have to sleep in there together? It's like bunk beds or whatever in there. You got it for all the guys kind of rent an area.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
Jonathan's. There ain't nobody sleeping in the room with Jonathan.
Jonathan's got his
Yeah.
own room.
No,
and
Jonathan can't.
And you the big cheese, so you got your house. Ain't that
I just go up to the house. There ain't nobody want to sleep in there with him.
Right. You snore bad?
No, but I can't take nobody else snoring bad.
Right.
And it's got to be dark in the room.
Right.
Yeah, and no noise. If
No
you breathe
noise.
loud,
Yeah.
you breathe loud, it's over.
If you breathe loud, you're going to get smacked with a pillow and you're going to
Ask
have to
Trey.
sleep somewhere
Ask
else.
Trey Renfro.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. I got a daughter that's that way. She don't want nobody around. Her room's got to be pitch dark. Leave her alone. You know, we go on a trip. It's almost like you got to get her own room or she's just going to be
We
miserable
do.
the
When we
whole
go
time.
off, we can't share a motel room.
So you got to get him his own
He
place.
got a motel room, I got a motel room.
Right.
Yeah, we can't do it. We tried to beat each other up one time over that. It didn't
One
work.
time. We shared a room one time up in Athens on a big piece of property. We got 1,200 acres in Athens, too. And we went up there to share. That's funny. Next morning, we got up. We was like, you know what? We can't do this. We can't do this.
Right. Cut, you said?
And that was funny. That was the first time we ever went out, shared a room. It wasn't gonna happen. One night, that's all it took.
All right, so going into the guides having their own room and everything. So I know usually most lodges have this special person that knows how to cook. So who handles the meals and
That's my
getting
wife.
everything ready? That's your wife.
That's my
That's
wife,
what she
yeah.
does.
Everybody calls her Mama.
Calls her Mama, huh?
Mama, yeah. She sure does the cooking.
So what's some of her favorite meals to prepare for the folks that's here?
I don't know, what's your favorite, Jonathan?
And she does fried pork chops, fried cube steak. I mean, soups. Everything she cooks is very, 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 very good. It's kind of like your grandma making food for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I mean, it's some of the best Southern home cooking that you can have.
Trey's is collard greens.
The collard greens.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he likes Mama's collard greens.
Right. So does she do all of that by herself, or she has somebody that comes and
cooks
helps
by
her?
herself.
She cooks by herself and does
She
it all.
shops for us by herself for all the food. She does all the cooking, 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yep.
And afterwards, after the hunts and everything, she does all the cleanup. She's a huge part of Salt Log. Huge part.
That's a lot of work in itself. You know, you getting on a tractor and doing that, but you got when somebody has to do all the cooking, all the food, all the preparing, because y'all have, and you know, one of y'all's guides, Trey Renfro, is really, really close, good friend of mine. And so I've talked a lot about down here. Y'all have, like you said, when you get these corporate groups come in, y'all have 20 head of people
Yep.
come through here, and that's a lot of people to cook for when you're cooking for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you know, and everything. So that's a lot. So I got to give her credit that she probably works harder than y'all do. Y'all probably have more fun, and she does more to working.
I think so. I don't want to swap with her.
Right. So how many hogs do y'all think y'all take off of here a year?
If I remember correctly, every year it's in between 550 and 650. It's different every year, you know, but that's a rough estimate. So.
And so I've dealt and been around hogs all my life, and y'all taking 550 hogs. We're going to just say 500 hogs a year, a minimum of 500 hogs a year. And can you tell each year it's like you didn't even put a dent in them? They're back in. I know y'all give them a break summertime because this is like this is your business. So hogs reproduce, and y'all might, Ronnie, you're the hog man too, and you might tell me different, but they can reproduce, 3 times a year?
3 times a year. 112 days is their gestation period.
112 days, and they're having a litter,
days.
you know.
Yeah, they can have a litter of 7 to 8 to 10. It adds up pretty quick.
So out of those 500, I know each year, and I know hogs run up and down this river like they do. They come across the river back and forth. But the feeding program y'all have keeps them really in here. And every year I see that these clients of y'all's come down. I mean, they kill a bunch of hogs, period, and a bunch of meat hogs. But I see some really big boars. So do
Nice trophies.
y'all have like a minimum, like a size where you try to persuade? I know somebody's going out hog hunting, but you try to persuade them not to shoot a boar that's, 150 pounds or this, or not really?
Not really. We let them shoot what they want to shoot, pretty much.
We try to keep them off the sows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The pregnant sows and the babies. We really try to keep them off of that. Ain't that?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the boar hogs, they fair game.
Fair game.
Yeah, and we call them meat hogs, cream puffs. 15,
Right.
25, 30, 40 pounds.
Right.
That's the best eating, in my opinion.
It is.
Anyways.
I mean, I've had a bunch of, like I said, I hunted across the river, and those are what I call the crock pot pigs, man.
That's
you
it.
kill them, quarter them up, leave them on ice for a little while, and cook
That's
that
the
joker
best.
in a crock pot, and you got some of the best barbecue you want to eat.
That's exactly right.
And people act like, oh, I ain't eating that nasty hog, but that joker's about better than the one you buy in the grocery store.
Yep.
You
A
know.
lot better.
But so your deer, I know I've seen in the last few years too, y'all are killing some really nice deer, and I know a lot of people. Deer is one of them things, people sit there and look. And I've hunted this river swamp most of my life, so I know it's very rare you're gonna see a deer that hits 150 or 160. You're gonna see some. Don't get me wrong, once in a blue moon, but I feel like your average deer down here would be pushing 120 to 140.
Yes.
And I mean, as far as a good mature deer,
Yes.
you hit one that hits 140, you done killed, and that's even feeding them and keeping
Yes.
everything. It's just swamp genetics, I would call it. So how many bucks do y'all usually take off of here a year?
They normally average somewhere between 15 and 20 legal bucks a year. They kill some deer that are not legal.
When you say legal now, that's your standards,
That's
not
our
to the
standards.
Georgia rules.
Yeah, just
you know?
our standards. Georgia standards, they're 100% legal that they're killing, but we try to set it a little bit higher than the Georgia standard because we
Right.
want to be able to grow some nicer deer. And like with our deer program, it's always changing. It's never staying the same. And that's why we got a 10-point or better now place, you know.
Yeah. I was going to ask about that. So y'all designed a place that y'all went into, and I keep up with y'all on Facebook and all this stuff, and y'all put stuff out there what y'all are doing next. And I like seeing it. So I ask, keep putting it out there because people enjoy the pictures and seeing it. So what does that 10-point area entail of? Like how big of an area is it, and what is it? What's there?
So right now we're going to say it's roughly 600 acres. There's multiple food plots there. There's multiple protein feeders in the area. Lots of oak trees. We went in and put new roads in a piece of property that we didn't have roads in before, and that's kind of the area.
And push new food plots on that area.
Yes, and it's going to, like I said, the program's forever changing. We're going to be culling some deer. It's something we haven't let clients do in the past. We're going to try it with the clients first this year. And we're just going to kind of go from there with it.
Right. See how the clients handle on a cull buck to what. That's
Yes.
kind of hard. Are you going to try to have a guide with them, sitting with them, or no, just kind of let them be on their own on that?
Try to send them with a picture
They're going to be
with a
on their
picture
own, with a
that we're
picture.
seeing on that field.
Of a certain deer you want
that
them
we're
to kill.
seeing on them fields.
Right.
And when they go to that field, okay, look, this is the deer that we've been seeing on this field. This will be an okay deer. It's a cull buck that we consider a cull buck.
Right.
Yes.
But it's okay. It don't meet the standards that we want.
Yes.
And that cull buck will be a deer that just me sitting back thinking that's a deer that you've had pictures of for 2 or 3 years. That's the same deer over and over with the same horn, same thing, and
Yes,
you might as well
yes.
take him out to herd.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes.
See, right now we got some 6 points that have been 6 points, and a couple of them deer might even be 4 years old now.
Right.
So there's really no point to continue year after year with a 6 point. Nobody wants to kill a big 6 point.
That's right.
So,
And that's not what we want breeding either.
yes.
Right.
We don't want them to keep passing them genetics.
Right. And then I could see where, which I just did a podcast with a friend of mine that they got a couple thousand acres in Sparta. And it's like you see a point where you really need to kill some 8-pointers too that's big, mature, that's
Yes.
going that way, that's, stay
gotta
there.
get
But
to that point,
you
though.
got to get to the, right.
Everybody talks. You've heard, and we just come back from a seminar from a guy, and it was a great seminar. A lot of stuff he taught us, but you're culling anyways. Is that not what he explained? It's the truth. When he laid it out there, even though you might not think you're culling on your property, but you're culling if you're shooting all your big deer. If you're shooting nothing but your big deer, you're culling out your big deer, and you're leaving the inferior deers because those are the ones that you're passing. That's not what you're looking for. Okay,
Right.
so you're shooting that big buck. All you're doing is leaving small bucks. You want to leave your superstars. Let some of them superstars walk and breed.
That's where a smart biologist comes in and tells you what you're doing wrong, Ronnie. And it's amazing what you're just saying because I've never heard it put that way.
Yeah.
And it makes 100% true. You're culling the wrong deer is what you're doing. It's really, you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yes, you're culling deer that I'm not saying you shouldn't be shooting because they're big, mature deer.
Absolutely.
But what you're doing is you're culling that type of deer and letting your inferior deer
Keep breeding.
and they're passing on their
you keep
genes.
knocking your line down. You keep
Yep.
knocking it. You're culling for smaller, inferior deer.
Yeah, that's I've never heard it put that way, but golly, that's
Well,
going to get brought
light.
up. That's going to get brought up. Yeah, it's like the light bulb went
That's
off.
a light bulb right
That's
there.
going to get brought up to several friends of mine. You know what I mean? It's like if you ain't shooting your other deer, then you're really wasting. You're not really managing like you should be. Anyway.
No,
That's
you need
it.
to be taking them nice looking deer and letting some of them grow. You gotta let them grow, or else you'll never have no big deer.
That's right. So y'all are, and I know for y'all getting started, and Ronnie, you're a big time hog man, and you grew up, hunting hogs with dogs and big into it is what you're passionate all with. So do y'all not do any dog hunting down here anymore? Have you
No.
kind of went away with that? So y'all
No,
don't
no
do the
dog
go
hunting,
catch him
period.
and let them stick them with a knife and all that?
No,
So
we
it's,
don't do that no more.
it's straight guns and
Yeah,
stands
straight
and
guns and
feeders
stands, and it's just better for this property. I'm not against it for everybody at all because I love the sport. I
Right.
mean, in my heart now, I'm just getting old, and it makes me hurt longer
Right.
whenever I go out and run them hogs. It made me slow down a few years back.
And
But,
I mean, to me, y'all come up with a really good business because as much as even in my younger years, I could see that business, like even in my mind, hunting across the river, because there's so many people that love to hunt hogs. And I get it all the time, like where I've traveled and been lucky to go out to the Midwest hunting, out to different places hunting. Even when you talk about, and I know a lot of y'all's clients come from Atlanta, people love to come and kill a hog.
They do.
You know what I mean? It's like
come
they
from
don't
everywhere.
and most people nowadays, the hog population is booming, and I'm actually killing hogs off places that never had hogs before. But a lot of people didn't have the chance to kill a hogs because they were drawn to these river swamps
Yes.
and certain places. So I give y'all credit. Y'all are pretty smart about getting this generated, and I can sit back on the outside and tell how good y'all done with this, and how many people repeatedly come back over and over just listen to Trey's stories with the same people that he's excited that's coming. And I know, what is it? I think it's Trey told me it's y'all let deer season roll out in February. Y'all stay booked the whole month, right?
Yep.
Just killing hogs. And when y'all stay booked, it's the same companies that's been doing it for years,
A
right?
lot of the same people that come, they come over and over, and I put that toward not just the hunting itself, but the camaraderie, the way that we treat everybody, our people treat other people. You know what I mean? The clients. And
Well,
stuff.
that's what I would feel like. Y'all are doing it right, and they're making friends with y'all. Y'all are
got
good,
to.
good people, good somebody you want to come back to and hunt with again and be around again.
That's exactly right.
and eating that good food that your wife's cooking.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know
A
what I'm
lot
saying?
of our hunters say, "Man, if we don't kill nothing, we coming for the food."
That's right. I mean, up there in Atlanta and places like that, I ain't saying they don't have good food, but they're eating restaurants and
They ain't
different
eating
stuff.
food.
They ain't eating what that Southern mama's cooking, like
That's
you said, and
exactly
fried
right.
pork chops. Trey likes to eat and collard greens. So
Yeah, a
that-
lot of them, they come by and they're like, it's like Thanksgiving every day down here.
Right.
I mean, they could have a slow hunt, but they excited to come back to eat food.
some come back and eat.
Yeah.
And I imagine y'all have a good breakfast on there lined up for them too when they get back. So y'all are trying to really establish a lot better deer hunting down here, though, right?
Absolutely.
Push forward
Yep.
to more good trophy hunt, more
And
good
not
deer
just
hunt.
the deer either, but the hog. So we want it all to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
We want it all to be a good experience for everybody. But yes, the deer, we are trying to push it better and better every year. But that is with all of it, the lodging, the way that people's treated here. We try to fine tune it, just like on any business. You're always trying to make your job better and make it better for people to come in. Is that true?
Absolutely.
I mean, every day you go to work every day. If a guy goes and builds houses every day, he tries to get better and better every day. He tries to do his job and get better. It moves you up the ladder.
That's
You're
right.
getting more valuable, more important to the people that's coming, that's seeking your services. So the better we are, the more people we'll have, or the more repeat people that we got.
Right.
And we try to treat everybody exactly the same when they come through the gate. One of the things that me and Jonathan try to stress to all our guides, it doesn't matter if they're a garbage man that comes through that gate to do a hunt, or the president of some billion-dollar company. They're all treated the same when they come through that gate. Everybody's on the same level.
Right.
Don't worry about what their occupation is. Everybody's treated the same.
Right. No matter who you are,
No
where you
matter
come
who
from.
it is.
Right.
And
Their
that's-
money is just the same as their money. Their time is just as important as that man's time.
And that means a lot. You know what I mean? It
has
means,
to.
And especially you take a corporate company that comes in and brings people and workers with them. I'd imagine on that workers level that he's treated just as good as his big boss man is. You know what I mean? It makes him really
That's
enjoy
that's
it
what it's
and
supposed to
want to
be.
come back too. Even if
Everybody's
it's
the
on his
same.
own time one day, saying,
yeah.
"I want to come spend a
And
week
you would
with
be
y'all."
surprised at how many of the big corporate groups do come that breaks off into other groups, don't it? You'll
yeah.
have a big corporate come in, and 2 or 3 of them will say, "Hey, man." They'll go to Jonathan. "Hey, John," because he does all he's the brains behind all of it. But Jonathan deals with everybody a lot better than I do. He does all the paperwork. He's
Trey
very,
told me
very
that Jonathan had more brains, but I wasn't
Absolutely.
gonna bring that up. But,
I'm not going to deny it. You know what I mean? I'm just proud to be part of it. That's all.
Oh yeah. No, I know y'all have a really good time down here, and that's like just some of the stories here. And I've seen some of these pictures on trail cams that y'all put out there, so I know there's some funny stuff goes on with filling up the feeders that you're not gonna know about till you get back and look at them pictures and stuff. You know, I've seen, I think both of you and Trey doing a rain dance or something one time.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan pics with y'all putting them out there on there. You know.
Yeah, he likes to mess with us.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's what makes it fun. I mean, when you're that close knit friends and are able to hang around and have, you know, such good times and bringing clients in, they see that it's more like y'all being a family.
We mess with them too. Don't think that they don't get messed with too.
Oh, I'd imagine
them clients,
them
when they come in that gate, they fair game.
I imagine them clients do get messed with pretty hard too. That's part of, you know, it's one of them when you get to know people and it's like friends and you go off hunting. That's one thing I love about hunting. If you ain't got thick skin, you don't need to be a hunter anyway, because you know what I mean? Because your friends are going to mess with you hard.
We going to dog them, ain't we?
That's like a dove shoot. I've been on a dove shoot where I went out there and not even shot a box of shells and killed my limit. And then I've been on one where I shot 3 boxes and your buddy's sitting over there by you laughing. And I think that makes it worse, you know?
Yeah.
So wing shooting, talking about that a little bit, I know y'all have some nice impound duck ponds, and y'all don't guide on them, right?
No,
that's kind of for yourself.
That's for us.
For the landowner that has it.
Yep.
And that's a lot of work in itself, you know. I know that don't have really to do with the lodge, but keeping them things up. I've seen some pictures with y'all and Trey sending some pictures out there where most people wouldn't even think about it, but you out there in the summertime and some waders trying to fix something and nothing but a moccasin hole, you know.
That's it. We were just talking about that on the way back from Alabama. We got to hold it. We got to get some cattails out of. And last year, Jonathan was in there. He said that was the most snakes he's ever seen in his life.
I videoed 14 water moccasins in just one little bitty section of that. And I'm like, I'm not walking out there with no weed eater and cutting that down. There ain't no way.
I mean, at least you do have a weed eater. It wouldn't stop running, you know what I'm saying, as I'm walking, you know. Yeah, them cottonmouths, they get pretty big down here on this river swamp. I've seen some some that make you really hurt yourself.
Yes, sir.
Well, one of my favorite hunting is, and me and Trey were both, I think, eat up with it. I don't know if Trey's more of a duck or a turkey, but
I think if it moves in the woods, Trey Renfro wants to chase it.
he wants to chase it.
Yeah, he's like that crazy dog that you had in the yard that just wants to run after everything.
And people out there, Trey is one of their guides, and they got several guys, but he's the one I know really well, so that's why his name's kind of brought up. And I think a lot of people down here, if you ever hunted with him, tend to want to hunt with him again because
he's got a great personality.
It's just the way he is. He's a lovable person, and he'll make you have fun the whole time he's out there.
He's going to give you everything he's got.
But me and him both, I love, and I know Jonathan does too. And I know me and you talked, Ronnie, that you do it a little bit, but don't have the kind of love for what we did. But man, every corner I come down when I was coming in here was just turkeys. So y'all's turkey population is doing really good down here.
Yeah, the population's booming. Every year has been very, very good. I mean, for the last several years.
Right. I think it was 2 different groups of gobblers coming down here. One was some younger, looked like Jake's last year, and they was up at the top of the road, and there was a group right before the lodge that I didn't get to count them, but I'd have said it was at least 8 good longbeards in that group. You know, that was a sight good for me to see, and that I've had videos from Trey down here. Like I said, I guess that's one thing that I get to feel I'm on. This is my first time being down here, and I really appreciate y'all doing this with me. But I've sat on the outside and kind of seen it in, and having a friend that loves what he's doing down here and sends me stuff throughout. We're always sending stuff back and forth, but just hearing all the turkeys gobble and everything. But y'all, those turkeys, the feeders y'all have, I guess it's just the deer and all eating out of the feeders and dropping feed on the ground and everything. But y'all have a lot of them that hit these same feeders, and they're not really spin feeders, are they?
No, just the trough feeders and even the protein feeders. I mean, the deer come in there. The turkeys, they can jump up in the troughs, obviously, but the hogs, they only get what the deer drop.
Right.
So,
unless you get a big hog.
Unless you get a real big one.
We get some big hogs, and man, they'll stand there and eat at it. And then we got one crazy guy out of Kentucky. If we get them big hogs, he's wanting a phone call. he'll be here. I'm coming.
On a big old boar starts coming.
If there's
in.
a big boar hog like that, buddy, he's coming.
So all you got to do with him is basically hit him with a phone call and
hit
he's
him with a
loading
phone
up
call and he's ready to run.
and headed that way. Yeah, that's them good clients you like to have right there, and you see that
he's
big
taking
old
out 20-something trophy bull hogs on his property, or on it from us.
20-something.
25 is what 25 or 26. The last time he was here, that he's had mounted. He built a whole.
I was fitting to
section.
ask how many did he mount. So he's mounted all of them.
He built a whole room addition on his house just for the hogs and the deer and stuff. And he used to go to another place around here, and he didn't get as many, but he ended up with us, and we can't hardly get him to go away,
right?
Which is a good thing. We don't want him to go away. You know what I mean?
So he's in your hip pocket all the time. Is basically you could say.
I hope
ready
so.
to
I
go.
like him. He's a pretty good fella.
He
is.
That's pretty cool.
He's definitely a good fella.
So how many people? Oh, Mike keeps sliding on me. How many people do y'all bring through turkey season? I know Trey had told me that y'all don't do as many turkey hunts. Like you kind of limited on them, so the hunting is good. So you know that I'm not going to say you have 100% success rate, but you want to keep it as good as you can get it, I think.
Yeah, we got a real high success rate, but we only take, it might be 15 people. It might be 15 hunters. Might. We just don't want, we like having the big population, and we're extremely busy every single weekend with hog hunters, so we only do the turkey hunting during the week. I mean, the NWTF comes and they bring a bunch of their clients. We've got a good clientele, all the way around.
Yeah, I've noticed that and seen that y'all, you can tell how good your turkey hunting is when the NWTF has been here the last few years that they want to have opening weekend and have it to themselves. They keep coming back, and that's a big statement on y'all, because I've always been a big part of the NWTF as much as I love turkey hunting and go to the actual convention out there in Nashville, and they got so many places they could go, but to want to bring a group here, it says a lot for y'all. I will say that. That's me sitting on the outside looking in, So
it feels like a lot to us.
Yeah,
and it feels like a privilege to us,
right,
to have them come in.
Right.
I mean, honestly, we ain't nothing but two old country boys.
No, I can see that.
We're just two old country boys. But it makes us feel good.
But who better is it to be than two old country boys? It's like I'll just put this in example. I had somebody just tell me this the other day that made engineering a company and is actually in Georgia Power, and a guy told him to put in for it, and he says, well, I ain't got no college degree, I ain't got nothing. He said, well, we hire people out of college, they don't know what side, if the post goes in the hole or the telephone pole goes that way in it or that way in it, you know what I mean?
That's a fact.
I look at it the same way. Who else is better to build a lodge or do guiding than an old country boy that grew up down here on the river swamp anyway?
I agree.
Yep. So I feel that, and then having that hospitality, that southern hospitality that y'all give, and I can just feel that as even just coming in the lodge myself and being around y'all. And this is the first time me and Jonathan actually talked was before we done this podcast. Me and you've run our mouth, a bunch and like to
you
cut up. And I actually cut Ronnie's hair, so we come in and I have a story about every other week, about every 10 days. He ain't got much hair, but he keeps it.
I tried to get him to do it on piecework, but he won't make no money.
he keeps it skint down pretty good, But yeah, me and Jonathan kind of hit it off right off the bat, and I think it's just because of what we love to do, and you take people that's like that, and I think that's what's just made y'all's lodge so great, and I don't know, we all have a love for this river swamp,
I was fixing to say
absolutely.
That, you've got to love it, because honestly, deer and hunting season, from the time we start our deer hunts or the couple of hunts right before it, the hog hunts right before it, to the end of April, it's not a normal job.
Right.
It's not a normal job. You don't come here or you don't go to work and put in 40 hours and go to the house.
Right.
You work every day. We work every day through hunting season. Do we or do we not?
We do. We'll have over 100 hours a week, a lot of weeks during hunting season.
And it's not always with a client or with somebody here, but we're trying to get ready for the next client, getting the lodge clean, getting food ready for the next group. It's just cleaning up from the last group, cleaning our machines up and our Can-Ams and stuff, trying to put new bearings in because the bearings went out in the last hunt, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Trying to keep everything moving for the next hunt. It's really a lot. It's more than I ever imagined, honestly. But I think we got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think we can handle it.
You probably imagine this thing, but then and we talked about this, and I can tell you, a man of the Lord, we've had these conversations before, but it's like the Lord took what you wanted to love and do, and what you had an idea of, and kind of made it way bigger than you ever could. It's because of what you're doing for people and how you're doing it. He's grown it to what it is now.
Absolutely.
And I've said this before, to me, and I go to church on a regular basis and all, and me and my preachers had these conversations. I mean, one not too long ago, but if you really want me to show somebody the Spirit of the Lord and good things, is let me take them hunting and get them outside and what God's created. You know what I mean? We can have some of the best time.
Man didn't create it, God created it.
That's right. So, you give him the credit, but this, I could see it being way bigger than what you thought, just pulling down here, and I've seen the pictures of it, just how beautiful it is, and the landscape y'all have done. And I know what this place was. I mean, this place was nothing but a clear cut that had grown into some of the thickest junk you could ever walk in, because I've been on it. You know what I mean? Years
First time
about
that
it.
I ever stepped on this property, I was running dogs.
Yep.
Back there, there's a story behind all that too.
Yep.
But I was running dogs, and it was so thick with briars, that all you could do is crawl to the hogs.
Right.
Oh, you couldn't run to them. You had to get on the hog trails and crawl to your dog.
Right.
That's all you could do, but you couldn't roll. It was so thick, nasty, rough. We called it the briar patch for years.
That's right. I've seen that across the river before too, where they had cut, and I used to coon hunt big time. And I remember crawling to a tree to get my coon dog, and crawled up on a sow with some little ones, and I mean, I was back crawling, you know what I mean? I was this ain't good. I had to figure out another way to get around there. Either left that dog tree and won, but I thought it was fixing to turn into an ugly story. But you probably different than me. I'm the one backpedaling. You gonna go in there with the dogs and catch them. You know what I mean? That's just
it was a fun time.
But I've heard sitting here talking, and we hit on the lodge a lot, and I know this ain't out there, even like me and you talked about, this ain't even an advertisement thing for y'all. I just wanted to come down here and sit because of the stories and what I've heard at Salt Log so much, and the clients and people come in, and the more I'm here, the more I get to hear. So I want to go into a little bit of stuff we was talking about earlier. I want to know about Stand 13. We'll let Jonathan kick off about Stand 13.
So Stand 13, when we started in 2019, one of the first clients we've ever had here. Have a great conversation the night before, go set him up inside the deer stand the next morning. Get a phone call about 30 minutes in, and he is freaking out, telling me to come get him right now. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like I said, this is probably the 10th person I ever took hunting as a business. And I mean, this guy's cussing and raising Cain, and I cannot figure out what's wrong. So I stop. I go down there to get him, get him back to the side by side. He's running out there. He's throwing his rifle in the back bed. I mean, his bag, saying, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here!" And I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, because I'm kind of freaked out too, because I don't know what's going on. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, this guy must really hate this spot. Like, I hope everybody ain't like this, And the whole ride up there, he's just mad. I think he's mad, but he's actually freaked out. Getting back up here to his room, he runs in his room, he grabs his stuff, he's just chunking it in the back seat. He didn't pack. He's telling me he's getting the heck out of here. He ain't never coming back. So finally, I stood in front of the door, and I'm like, look, you got to give me something, because I need to know what we did wrong. And he said, you didn't do anything wrong. And he's telling me, you're not going to believe me, but I mean, he's freaking out. He's cussing left and right. I mean, and then finally he stops, and he's like, you're not going to believe me. But as soon as I couldn't hear you no more, I started hearing a dog, and I started hearing somebody yelling at the dog. And I said, what were they saying? He's like, I don't know what they were saying. I said, it's probably coyotes and owls. And he looks at me and he says, I'm from Florida. I've heard coyotes and owls my whole life down in the swamps. And it wasn't that. And he's trying to leave. And he says, as soon as that stopped, I started hearing some drums. And I said, it's probably the dump trucks on these kaolin mines. He goes, no, it had a rhythm. And he said, and it ran for like 20, 30 minutes. And he said the fog cleared, and there was Indians all out in front of me. He said there was teepees, there was that dog, there was somebody yelling at the dog. And he's just all freaking out, and I started laughing. I couldn't help it but laugh. And he got so angry and mad. So I said, hey, let me go get your money and give it back to you. You had a biscuit, you hunted 30 minutes. And he said, no, you keep my money because you think I'm lying, and I want you to believe me. And he left, and he never came back.
No, he never came back.
And I come back, and I told Ronnie, and I told Mr. Robin, and we laughed about it and said, yeah, this guy's probably on drugs or something. And 2 years went by. We didn't hunt that stand the second year. It just wasn't no good. Third year, I put this guy in there. He's in the stand an hour maybe, and right before dark, he texted me, hey, there's a dog and a guy yelling at a dog right there where you dropped me off. And I'm like, it's probably coyotes and owls or something. I mean, there's nobody out there. And I'd forgot all about what happened 2 years ago. And he's like, please come down here and check because somebody might be hurt trying to come out or somebody's trespassing, one of the two. I drive down there, there's nothing. But as I'm sitting there, I remember the story from 2 years ago from that guy. And the guy comes and gets out right at dark, and we're riding back, and I'm talking to him. I say, yeah, there was this guy. He's probably on drugs, honestly. I kind of really felt that way. But he heard a dog, somebody yelling at the dog, and then a little while later, the fog broke, and there was Indians all in front of his deer stand, and he freaked out and he left. And me and him laughed about it. The next morning, I take him back, and he's in the stand, and it's just kind of cracking daylight good, about the right time, and he texts me, and I can't say exactly what he said, but he said, hey, I've been hearing drums. I ain't no big sissy, but I've been hearing drums for about 15, 20 minutes. And it clicked in my head that I never told that guy the night before about the drums. And I texted him back, and I said, you remember that guy that heard the dog and saw the Indians? He goes, yeah. And I said, he told me he heard drums for about 30 minutes before he saw the Indians. And he texted me back, and he said, I'm not ready to see that crap right now. Come get me. Get me out of here now. And he made me come down there and get him. And, yeah, it was just wild, and it was definitely something going on down there.
Right. So stand 13 is known for the haunted stand.
It is the haunted stand.
And there's actually been, it isn't any stories like that, but there's been a few more incidents, right, of just different stuff being seen, lights and
yeah,
you know, different things that's been going on down there. That's kind of neat. And you know, since you told that story, I told y'all one earlier. I might as well throw it in on this podcast because it would come in on one. But I kind of am not going to say I don't believe that guy, because I had something happen to me one time that was like slap crazy. We was coon hunting one night in Hancock County, and it was near an old plantation. It was like that had slaves and all back in the 1800s, and we stopped. We turned the dogs loose, and the dogs never said a word. And it was on a place that we had hunted, and it would always tree coons, and coons were always there. And we competition hunted, so we wasn't killing the coons. We was just letting them tree them and backing out. And the dogs never said a word. And so we hung around there a while and never heard a dog. So we figured we'd make a loop around and go see if we could hear them somewhere else. And we stopped on a dirt road and could hear piano music playing, like old-timey piano music. And we thought it was weird, and it was just a weird night in the air. You could hear that music, and it was coming from close to where that plantation was. Well, when you made a loop, you stopped at the stop sign, and that plantation was dead across the road. And we stopped at that stop sign, and when we did, the whole driveway was lit up with candles and like lanterns, and there was horses and buggies, and out there even by the road was horses and buggies. Well, in the yard was like this big ball light going on. There was women in ball dresses, men in tuxedos with top hats, and I thought it was just the coolest thing. I'm like, they're doing a reenactment, and people have done come here, and that's where the music was coming from and everything. I'm like, this is one of the coolest things to sit there and look at, you know. And we left, and we went, and we kept listening to the dogs, never heard the dogs, and come back to that circle in 20 minutes. We hadn't been gone no more than 20 minutes, and that place was pitch dark. And I was like 17 years old, and I told my cousin, he was older than me, to take me home at that moment. I'm like, I will find my dog tomorrow. And when I went back, my dog was right where I turned him back out at, laying down.
That's right.
We used to throw, and I know you
Throw
did
a
this with hot
shirt
dog, throw a shirt or something out there. And my dog was laying down right there. And I'll remember that life, and I've told that story. But it ain't one of them stories you go around telling everybody, which I'm on a podcast telling now because they think you're lying or crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But I seen that. So I'm not going to say he didn't see the Indian, especially if it happened to the other guy, because there is a lot of history down here where y'all have this lodge at and this river swamp. I've found so many artifacts when I've hunted down through here, and I know y'all have too. And you, like Mr. Ronnie was saying earlier, you got thousands of years of history and things that went on. And when I guess, when Milledgeville and all was the capital and all that, back in the 1800s, they'd run boats all the way up the river, come from the ocean all the way up the river to trade, sell, and do stuff. So it's a lot of stuff, I imagine, that went on down through this river. And I know y'all probably found some really cool stuff while y'all been out working and stuff like that.
We have. One time we was fishing. Me and him was fishing down there on the bank. I'm sitting there and fishing and just relaxing, enjoying ourselves, and we find this little piece of pottery. It's about that big. And we're looking at it. We're like, man, that's a piece of a bowl, an Indian bowl or something, And Jonathan, he's the one that got me in finding artifacts. Appreciating their artifacts and all. Right. And he gets up and he's looking all around for the rest of it. Just gets him. The fish weren't biting real good. So he gets up and I'm just sitting there looking and looking. Next thing you know, I get up and John says, look what I found. I've been sitting on that damn bowl and rubbed it shiny with my butt.
Really?
Yeah, it was upside down like that right there. And I rubbed that piece that we found, fit right in the corner of it. It was right there, wasn't it?
It was.
You still got it today.
Yeah.
So it was a whole
It was just a little hand
bowl.
bowl. It wasn't but about that big and about that deep, but it was still cool.
Right.
Yeah, especially, hanging out with your buddy and seeing having something like that happen.
Right. Yeah, I imagine y'all have, and I don't know, do y'all have a boat ramp that's on this place or not?
No.
Or where do you put in? I know you have an airboat and like playing around with your airboat and all.
Yeah, I usually put in up the river or down the river, one or two, and then come
back up through here and all. So
we have put in on our sandbars. We got a lot of sandbars. I think there's 9 miles of riverfront we got. That's part of our property. That's our border is the river.
Right.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
And me and you was talking about this at the barbershop. You was trying to say y'all changed your name from Salt Log Outfitters to Salt Log Lodge, and so y'all are trying to take on more people that want to just come. And I'm not going to say how are you looking at that? Doing it. I'm not going to say an event, but just wanting to come for the lodge or what?
Yeah, we don't mind doing events either. That's something that we would look into. Mm-hmm. It just depends on the event and what they want to do. What somebody's wanting to do. We would like to do a B&B or something like that, or have groups come in and maybe go kayaking. We can put them out on one sandbar and let them go down for 3 or 4 hours down to the next sandbar on kayaks and stuff. It's just stuff we're trying to expand. We just want to expand.
And there's so many opportunities for stuff down here just because of the things that I was able to do growing up through the years on this river, like you say, and the kayaking. I mean, that's a fun summer way of just enjoying yourself on the river. You get down through there and especially if you get a group that comes in through the weekdays and stuff where you don't have that many boats running down the river and stuff, and you take them and put them out on Monday or Tuesday and let them go enjoy the river. Just the peace and tranquility of that river, nobody knows unless they get to come experience.
It's like you're in the middle of the Amazon.
It is.
It really is when you're out there. It's crazy. And especially our part of the river, the closest public boat ramp is Ball's Ferry or the state boat ramp.
And that's a long ways either way.
That's a long ways either way. Any other way you're going to get in is like over on Oconee Hunting Club.
Their boat ramp
their
or
boat
whatever.
Ramp over there.
Right.
And there's not a lot of boats just part of the river.
I used to love fishing this part of the river a lot because of that. I fished it, kayak fishing and even going down it in canoes. But we used to put the boat in because over there across from y'all, we did have a boat ramp. But you didn't see many people down this way, and the fishing was really good because it wasn't getting hammered down this way. So y'all, I know y'all have some really good fishing. But so right now we talked. Y'all are mainly clearing roads and I guess getting deer stands ready and cleaning out the wasp nest. I know y'all deal with a lot of wasp nests and stands.
Replacing
and
wood in the bottom of the stands and getting numbers on how many blinds that you got to replace. Just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and get ready to plant stuff. That's the next phase of everything. We got supposed to start hunting again. We got a couple hog hunts in September, and then roll in the deer season. So.
Right. So y'all have, I know it's over 7,000 acres, and I don't think we said that at the beginning. I meant to bring it up a time or two when we was talking about like the 600 acre track y'all are doing for 10 point or better. So how many deer stands do y'all have, or stands do y'all have on the 7,000 acres, do you think? Y'all got them numbered to keep up with, or how do y'all?
There's 60 plus spots,
Stands, yeah.
And we do got a map, but I think it's over there in the other building that's got everything labeled on it.
Labeled on it and all the stands and everything
That's
labeled.
the map there, but it don't got all the food plots and stuff on it.
Out of the 60 stands, how many stands has feeders on them? How many feeders do y'all have? Where like
So
if you
we
bring a
don't-
group of 20 in to hunt hogs?
I don't know the exact number. It's more than 20 feeders, but what we found that works better than feeders is scattering the corn out in the grass. So you use a spin feeder, it spins out, they come to eat it, it's gone.
Right,
You use a protein feeder, the deer got to come up to it, knock it out for them to eat.
right.
You go put 100 pounds of corn in a broadcast spreader and you spread it across your field.
Through the grass.
The animals, the deer's going to get some, the turkey's going to get some, and the hogs are going to get some, and none of them can eat it all in a day. You'll give probably 3 days worth of animals trying to come to get it all. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I could only imagine coming down here and sitting in one of y'all stands, and I'd love to just come and sit without a gun just to watch, because I imagine if you go through there and spread 100 pounds of corn or 200 pounds of corn in a field, because like you said, the wildlife that they get to see, they're not sitting there just twiddling their thumbs waiting on something to come out. By the time, I guarantee you, because I know how much wildlife's on this river swamp, by the time you set them in a stand and you pull off in that Ranger within a few minutes, they're seeing something. Something is usually coming in. I mean, you're going to have days where everything's dead. Don't get me wrong.
That's
You have
right.
moon
It
phases.
is free range.
You have moon phases and all that stuff that just the animals just ain't moving like they are. But I could imagine on good cold days, especially in them, good winter months and stuff like that, and that corn's really they're coming to it. And I imagine it makes a difference with all the chestnuts and all that start swamping. I know this place was, so let me ask you this, because I know you have the sloughs, y'all have the big canal that runs in it. So in this place, because it was, and I remember, just mostly cut over, straight clear cut. So do y'all still have some areas with the big swamp chestnuts and all that in there?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, they left some pretty good sections. All on the creeks have to be left. The canal's got a really big section that's several acres wide, and it's got some of the giant trees in it.
Giant chestnuts and stuff in it. So yeah, that's good, because that was one thing that, and I know I'm bringing this up a lot, but like across the river, that it was loaded with a lot of big, pretty open swamp, and it's hard to beat. And I think from seeing the pictures and talking to Trey, y'all's place has really grown back in these 20 years.
That's what I was just fixing to touch base on. Is we talked about when I first come here, how briary it was,
right?
And you had to crawl through, and you could see forever to the next field. You could see the next row of trees way down there.
Right.
Now, man, the briars is just about gone. It's all been shaded out.
Right.
And it's amazing how much oaks are come back. Feed trees have come back inside of the areas. From stumps even. They got the old stumps, the old tree stumps. I mean, they produce acorns faster. You know what I mean? If you just let that sprout off of there and come on back, you ain't got to wait 20 years for acorns.
Well, most people, they don't realize that. And I've got a friend of mine that's a forester, and that I've known for a while, and me and him's had some conversations, and that's what he said. He had told me it is about a 20-year turnaround, but if you cut down that chestnut or that a red oak and some of those big water oaks and all, that stump will produce, that sapling will come back off of that stump, and it will grow twice as fast.
And it'll go right back to throwing acorns.
Right. It'll be twice as fast, too, as you taking a tree and getting it from the forester or somewhere else and
That's
really
exactly
planting
right.
it.
Well, they're
comes
growing
back.
out of a 100-year-old stump.
That's right.
50-year-old stump.
Right.
That branch is just a branch. That tree that you're seeing grow is just a branch off of that 20-year-old tree.
Yeah, so they produce acorns in probably a 5-year span.
Yeah, as soon as they get big enough.
Right.
far as size-wise to be able to maintain
right.
the mass.
Right, that's right. Yeah, so I imagine y'all do have a lot of hard mass trees back down in here because it was strictly a lot of those big hardwoods that was gone, and then y'all have a lot of we was talking about them earlier, China berries. Did y'all have areas where China berries grew?
Areas where we less desirable China berries. Yes.
Yeah. The thing about the China berries, though, I found that hunting on some of the places that was cut, you would be surprised at the wildlife that do hang out in them China berry places.
Yeah,
though.
they like. I think it's some little beads, them little balls that fall, and then they deteriorate and they start getting worms on them. Then the hogs come and eat them. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I think the cycle is right there.
And then they grow up. Once they get so tall, they grow up really pretty and like it's shady up under it, real green. I've noticed that turkeys really like them areas. You know, I've
they
caught
scratching those balls
up,
getting the bugs off of them.
And another thing is it's about this time of year for it because I used to love hog hunting too, and I used to do a lot of archery, slipping around shooting hogs with a bow was one of my funnest things years back. Coming up,
funnest. Is that what you said? Funnest.
Yeah, one of the funnest things. Yeah, everybody's got to deal with my country self on this podcast. You know what I mean? One of the funnest things I've ever done, but it was pretty fun. But I'm trying to think of. I know what they're called, and I'm trying to think of them now. That it's the green thing that's they're mushy.
Oh, you talking about pawpaw?
Pawpaws. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. Y'all
pawpaw.
have a lot of pawpaws down there too?
I actually. We got areas that's got a bunch of them,
right.
And I just happened. I was mowing on some of these food plots last time I mowed a month ago, and I was telling Jonathan, "You wouldn't believe all the pawpaws that's on these fruits out here," you know. Yeah. But I like eating them too. I think they're good, but you got to get them whenever they're squishy, and they're almost just about rotten.
I've heard of people eating them, but I've never really can say I've really tried one. I've tried.
You ain't never tried. It tastes like a mango and a banana cross.
Does it?
Yeah, that's kind of what it reminds you of, mango and banana.
I mean,
to me, might be something else to somebody else, but that's what it kind of reminds me.
Yeah, I mean, I've eaten a persimmon, and a lot of people say, you know, I'm not going to say it depends on when you put that persimmon in your mouth, whether you can actually eat it or not.
You better be smart about it.
Yeah.
A lot of them people up there in South Carolina, North Carolina, they have persimmon festivals.
Yeah.
They make cakes and stuff out of
Yeah,
them.
I mean, I'm not one that sits there and eats one all the time, but I've said, I've tried them. I ain't never tried a pawpaw, though, and that's
the best thing to ride around with your clients with, because I've seen them trees with all them pretty pink and color ones. Oh, are those good? Yeah, some people like them.
Yeah, and get them to try one.
That's the best thing that you can do.
When they're hard.
Yeah, get them. That's what I was going to say when they're green. I can talk, like I said, and it ain't something I sit there and eat. I've just said, because of being an old country boy, I'm man enough. I'll bite one of these persimmons.
Yeah, you get your
but you get a green one, that one that's just starting to turn a little pink. Yeah, and tell them that's the best one. Yeah, that's a funny part. I know y'all have some good times, like we said, with the clients and all, but
you have to.
Yeah,
you have to.
And how so when y'all drop them off, y'all take them in there with a ranger, leave them, and come back and get them like after dark. Y'all have so many guides, and how many clients, say if a guide goes in like hog hunters, and I've seen, man, y'all got some nice Can-Ams. I was picking when Ronnie pulled up. I mean, they got the Can-Ams where the windows roll, all the electric roll up and down. I mean, these jokers are super. So does one guide, he carries out probably 2 or 3 at a time, or how does
normally 3 or 4.
3 or 4,
depending on the size of the guys.
And they'll take a certain area and go to that certain area, and you'll have stands that's kind of close enough that he's got allowable time to go back and pick each one of them up.
We let them know that if you're the first guy getting picked up, be happy. Unless you got a night vision scope and you're wanting to shoot hogs after dark.
Right.
Because by the time you track animals and stuff, sometimes your clients are in the woods longer than what you would like them to be. But you got to be able to recover your animals.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? You got to have time to recover your animal.
Definitely. And I could see, I'll bring up another story I'd put on another podcast with a buddy of mine. They got a big place. I was talking about the place in Hancock County, and they do what they call a doe fest every year, kill a bunch of does. And so it's a bunch of our buddies that go over there and hunt. I was that person you're talking about that was at the end on one of those hunts. And after that, I told him when I got back, it wasn't no hard feelings or nothing because we're all friends. But I said, I'll never go to another one of your stands without my vehicle, because it was the same way. Everybody got to shooting does, and it was on a Friday evening where you're ready to have fun and hang out with your buddies.
It's dark at 9, you're picked up at 10:30.
I'd kill 3 does, and I drug them to the road, and finally I was getting texts, we're looking for this deer, we're looking for whatever, we'll be there as soon as we can be there. And, somebody actually probably could have left and come and got me. But I'm laying in the road by the deer, and it's like I told him, if a drone would have flown over, it would have seen 3 dead deer and a white boy laying beside them in the road. 2 hours later, I'm waiting to get picked up. So I've been on that end of, if you're the last one to get picked up, you might be there a while. And I wouldn't mind that down here, like you said, if you had night vision or whatever, and I can keep on shooting, because I know
guys like it.
I know there's some critters keeps coming, after dark.
Guys like it. Because when we do our deer hunts, it's a combo hunt. So you get a hog and deer. So if they get to shoot their deer early, or if they don't see a deer, they still get an opportunity to shoot a hog after dark while they're waiting.
That's
what
right.
I mean? And everybody's not here for a hog during deer season, but the people that are, we coordinate with them and set them toward the end of the run. You know what I mean?
That's right. That would make a lot of sense. So, I imagine you have, and I could see me, as I am as a hunter on certain things, being the type, which I don't know, you pulling the trigger's fun either way, but some people want to come in and do nothing but a deer. They're wanting to just kill a deer. They're not worried about a hog.
That's all they're worried about.
And I imagine y'all try to provide it to where you're always going to have hogs because of this whole place and have hogs, but I imagine you have some stands that the hogs ain't hitting on quite as hard, and you got more deer hitting on them than you do the hogs. The hogs are generated down in this area more.
And that's what that conversation, like we were just talking about, leaving people, it's not just load up in the buggy and let's go drop you off.
Right.
We're setting you're talking to the group, you're talking to your group and seeing who's wanting this and who's wanting to kill the hog, who's more important about the, killing the deer and stuff. And you try to coordinate all that. That goes into every single hunt, every single guide, every single group of people that goes out in the buggy. That coordination's going on.
Right.
Is it or is it not?
That's it.
I mean, that's what it has to be.
And it's got to. I was fitting to say it's got to if you want to run it right. I mean, and if you take and you had, tell me again, just say if you got a big group, say it's deer season and you got 15 hunters down here. And I don't know if you say, well, during deer season, it's only going to be limited to 10 or whatever. So what's the most hunters you probably had in here during deer season hunting deer?
So what we do is typically I'll book about 15 people, okay?
Right.
But you're going to end up with about 10 to 13 people normally.
Right.
Normally you got no-shows, you got people that cancel at the very last minute.
There's things that goes on in life.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There's things that
definitely.
happen.
It ain't that they're just not wanting to show. So a death happens or something. Kid comes up, gets sick. Right.
So we used to book 10 people, but then we were ending up with 7 hunters. And on a bad time, we ended up with 6 or 5 hunters.
Right.
And it gets hard to just,
to make a living,
make the money that you need to make.
So through the years, you've realized we need to concentrate on having 15 hunters, and this is what's going to get us to where we're doing. And you take, like, I look at y'all and what you're doing because of me hunting across the river and being in the hunting club, and I see how well y'all are doing this is because that hunting club from times went to 40 members to 60 members. It would fluctuate throughout years. And I mean, the best I'd seen it was when you averaged 40 members. Mm-hmm. And part of them members wasn't going to hunt hard. They come down to play cards, do whatever, like every hunting club. But you could accommodate on 60 members that majority of them was going to hunt the first week or two of season. You had a pile of people beating that place down.
In the very beginning of the season.
Very beginning of the season. Towards the end of the season, it'd get where you wouldn't hardly see nobody. You go down there and felt like you had 7,000 acres to yourself.
Yeah.
So when I look at y'all's place and knowing, because I've hunted a place this size, knowing what you have and only having 15 hunters, you're not even putting a dent in it.
Yeah.
On that wildlife and stuff that's there. You're not, it's by far not being overhunted at all. You know what I mean?
We looked at the percentage rate of our food plots to the overall tract of the land, and it's less than 10%.
Of what you're hunting.
Is it or is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, the what you're hunting on the whole
what
place.
we're actually hunting.
Yeah.
And the rest of it's sanctuary. That's what the only time we go in there is after tracking animals or something's run in there. You know what I mean?
but that means a lot to somebody like me that knows what you're doing and knows a little bit about hunting, that knows that y'all are really producing such a great lodge. And like you said, when it comes to even like what I love, the turkey hunting, given that percentage rate of people being able to kill something, majority of people, and I would feel this way if I was here and was able to do what you're doing, I would feel the same way as I know y'all do. If I'm going to take 15 hunters in, and I know we're going to hunt every other week, I got hunters, swapping out, coming in. We might take a few days off when hunters come, get lodge straightened back up, getting things, done. Then got another group coming in. But if I'm only taking an average of 15 hunters on this, from what I believe is, I'm going to give them 15 hunters a pretty dang good chance. They ought to see something to be able to shoot something.
We're doing our best. It is free range.
Right.
It is free range. We try to. You wouldn't believe how many people had asked us that. Is it free range? Is it free range? Is there fence up? You guarantee me a kill? I can't guarantee you anything but a good meals, a dry place to sleep, and good hospitality.
Right.
We're going to do our best to put you, and our guides are going to do everything they can do to get you on a good animal. Right. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're here for.
Well, you take people anyway, and I'll sit there and go by this, Ronnie, and I know y'all both done this, is I've guided turkey hunting a fair amount throughout my life, and I'll tell anybody, they'll say, you're going to guarantee me this. I ain't guaranteeing you nothing. I'm going to take you and I'm going to do my best. And it's even y'all, I know y'all can probably say I pretty much am going to guarantee you're going to see some game or hogs at time. It's always, like I said, God, the way they're moving and everything. It's not 100%. But I know y'all have enough hogs coming in. You're going to be able to shoot some hogs.
You don't kill 600 hogs by not seeing them.
That's right. We're going to put you on some hogs. If you don't see one to stand, we're going to go right around. We're going to find you some hogs, to piddle with or whatever. You're going to do the best with your clients. But, yeah, and a lot of it is, I know y'all see so many different people come through this lodge, and I'm not wanting, when I'm saying this, I'm not wanting to pick on people and all, and this is just part of hunting, and some of it's the fun part, but I've took people hunting that where it seems like every time you call them up a turkey, they ain't gonna hit it. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna miss it after so much you're scratching your head. You know what I mean? It's like you got these certain ones that you
touching on that a little bit. We got people. This happens a lot, and Jonathan verify it. You'll have a group of people, and you'll say 15. We're just going to throw a number, 15 guys out there, and everybody's seeing stuff. I mean, they're having a ball, but this one guy, one guy, and it don't matter where you put him. For some reason, he don't see nothing, or he sleeps. One or the other. He's doing one or the two things. He's not seeing something, or he's sleeping. Or talking on his phone. Yeah.
I think I could see where that's going to average out of most of your hunting when you have 15 people. There's going to be that guy in the crowd. You're going to have that guy.
And a lot of missing.
A lot of missing.
And we had a group come in, and one weekend they had 51 misses.
51
shooting
misses.
Hogs. 51 misses in one weekend.
They only killed 2 hogs?
No, they killed 45, I think, that weekend.
45, but missed 51 times.
Missed
51. Were they seeing animals?
Yeah, that's what I was fitting to say. I mean,
I'm not going to say what month it was,
Yeah.
but in that month we hunted 3 weekends, and they had 91 misses total over the 3 weekends.
Yeah, out of 3 weekends.
Dang.
But killed 100 and, what did we kill, 120 hogs?
They only killed 72 that month. The year before they killed that.
Yeah.
And the year before that they had 115, but...
I know I always thought that, it set back, and I told Ronnie this before too, I think, and I always look back at how in the past I would think, yeah, man, I'd love to be a guide. I'd love to be a guide. And I know I could really enjoy it. I could enjoy being a guide and really love doing what you do for people. But, man, some of them pictures I seen and talking to Trey when everybody comes in and everybody's going to eat and you got 28 hogs laying out there to clean. Ooh,
that's when you put your big boy pants
That's
on.
right. That's when you better love it because, I mean, that's when the work comes in. I mean, it's like you said, it's a lot more to it than people even think about. They think you got this cush job and you're, got this nice lodge and you've got it made, but there's so much work behind it. So
picture this. February, it's cold, it's raining. You finally get everybody in, and it's about 12:30 at night. Everybody's going to bed, and you got 45 hogs laying out there that we have to take care of before we can go to bed. I mean, we're not going from when it was like that. We wasn't going to bed till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
You about wasn't hardly sleeping.
No, you wasn't sleeping. It's rough.
You was getting up as soon as you'd lay down and catch you a cat nap. You was getting ready to take people
It's
out.
working 17, 18 hours a day.
What do y'all? So when y'all run these hog hunts and all, do y'all hunt morning or is it just all evening?
95% is all evening and night.
Yes.
Evening and night.
Yeah.
Right. So y'all try to, just listening to you say that, y'all try to, so y'all pretty much will feed or maybe eat. How do y'all do that? Do y'all feed and eat dinner before y'all go out, or kind of do you come back and eat late at night? How does that
good,
work?
And he'll tell you that she'll sit here and we'll eat at 12 o'clock at night.
Really?
And she'll have a full-blown dinner laid out there. I'm talking about a whole buffet set up.
Right.
And that's what everybody's coming back for. They're ready to eat.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then she'll be back up in the morning and have food for everybody for breakfast.
Right.
Yeah, breakfast will be about 9:30. Then we'll do a late lunch. So you're eating lunch 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Right.
But again, you're not eating dinner till
Midnight.
yeah.
So pretty
11:30
much,
midnight.
do y'all recommend people and tell them when your clients are booking your hunts and tell them all that to bring snacks and
Yes.
stuff like that, what they like to eat in the deer stand or have.
I tell them to
have
bring
fish
their
stand.
favorite drinks and their favorite snacks.
Right.
I tell everybody that.
Right.
And everything else we got covered. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, y'all are. I mean, I really want to give it to y'all. Y'all are running a sure enough good outfit down here, and I've enjoyed coming down here talking to y'all and seeing it. And I think y'all have got a big future ahead of you. And I think even the changing it to the lodge is such a pretty place, man, to me, that you come down here. People just don't realize what they could have down here. I mean, I could sit here and say that, you know, looking at the bedrooms and all, and this is just one of the things, just me sitting back saying, like you was talking about an Airbnb or whatever, daggum, this would be a heck of a place just to have a family reunion.
That's what I was going to say.
You know what I mean? Just
We
for
would
people
love
to
for
get
stuff like
together.
that. That's
Summertime,
the kind of stuff we're trying to target.
when you're not guiding season and stuff like that, to come down here and get a family together and, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
I could just see there's so much potential down here. And me and Ronnie talked.
Or men's treat for church and stuff like that.
Right.
That would be things that they could go away for, like a men's camp.
Right.
Where people, you can bring a whole group of guys in and let them do church. You know what I mean? For a weekend.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they could get their foods cooked. They could get everything cooked and be taken care of just like that. Just like we're hunting, but we're not hunting. The only thing we're hunting for salvation then. You know what I mean?
I could see the kayak thing and all, like you're talking about being a church. I could see, you know, getting with y'all and bringing a group of young guys down here and floating down the river and giving them some time, stopping at a sandbar and cooking some hot dogs, even on our terms, and you know, eating with y'all if your wife wanted to, but cooking hot dogs and doing a devotion and all that, sitting around fishing poles and enjoying it, you know.
Absolutely.
And y'all having it where y'all can run this thing like y'all do. There is so much more you could actually do down there, and so many doors. There's so many avenues too. You could open it up to share the Lord in it. You know what I mean? To be able to use it.
It ain't all got to be about hunting animals.
Right.
We can ride around, look at the animals. We ain't got to kill them.
That's right.
Let them have a little break. Yeah.
Well, what we talked about too, when we've all gotten to this stage and the older we got, it ain't about killing an animal anyway. You want people to come around. It's the camaraderie of hanging around folks and enjoying. I could see more enjoyable times at the lodge and on the ranger rides and picking up than them just shooting the animal. You know what I mean?
We have people tell us all the time the rides when it's raining and it's muddy and we're mud sliding all the way down through. You grown up doing it.
They're not used to that.
No, they're like, this is better than any of the hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that 100%. You know, people getting welcomed into this swamp life, as we call it. You know, down here and enjoying it, but. I'd like to come back and, you know, I'd like to hang around and do something again one day when y'all ain't doing nothing. I might just get in the truck and try to ride down here and see you, Ronnie.
That's all you got to do.
Come down here with Trey and hang out. And I mean, I'm the type, I'd get on a tractor one day and go bush hog a road for you. You know what I mean? Just a Sunday evening.
Hey, we'll give you a taste of being a guide. Just call us.
Just to punt around. I would enjoy it, you know. So
it takes a special person to be. I'll be honest. I mean, all kidding aside, it takes a special person. We've gone through a lot of guides trying to get the right people.
Right.
And when you get the right people, you got to have it in your heart and in your mind that this is what you love. You love the outdoors enough that you're not counting hours until you get off. You're not, you know what I mean?
You got to love the outdoors. You got to love what you do. You deal with the weather, the elements, and everything, and all the work that you put into it. And on top of that, and I think that's one reason Trey is so good at it, and I know y'all got other guys that are the same way, but you got to love people too.
Absolutely.
You got to be able to draw that closeness with people and get them to where they appreciate you too. And you know, everybody, and it don't matter, even in my business as being a barber, and I love people, and that's one reason I love my job. And as soon as me and you met and started talking, you know, you could tell I love that. People, you're gonna, even as a guide, you're gonna have to learn to deal with them certain people that you don't want to deal with. It's like, I bet they come back and say, Jonathan, this guy right here, man, I'm about ready to leave him down there in the river swamp. You know,
but you gotta erase that.
You do.
You gotta go past that.
You got to make him feel.
He's only gonna be here for a couple of days, and you still gotta treat him with the respect that he deserves and he paid for.
That's right.
Even though you personally might not care for his personality or whatever, you still owe that man what he paid for.
Right.
Is that true or not true?
Oh, it's true. I mean, you can give him to another guide if they don't work
and
together.
We do that.
And we do that.
We
too.
do that.
If they clash a little bit,
clash,
you put him with somebody else and let them see if they can get along.
Right.
Because you want each person to have an enjoyable time.
So you probably, you know, I'm trying to wrap this thing up, but I got so much we could actually talk about. But you probably, when you get a group come in and you get your guys together, you probably can almost see the atmosphere of who's talking to who and who's working to who to kind of fill it out that we're going to put him with him. They've already clicked. They've been over there sitting in the chair talking about deer hunting and stuff for 30 minutes. So,
and over the years,
you know,
we get a lot of repeat clients. And like you said, a lot of people like Trey. Trey gets requested a lot.
I can see it, you know.
Jonathan gets requested a lot, and other people get. Everybody's got their own people that they click with.
That's
just
right.
like we're talking about.
That's right.
And I'm shy. Believe it or not.
I don't believe that.
I know you don't believe that. Jonathan knows. But if you get a big group of people around me, I start getting nervous. You know what I mean? And it ain't because I mean to. I just do. I do a lot better. Like when you give me my 4 guys, or I take my 4 guys. Right. I can do good with that group. But I get nervous whenever I talk to everybody. You know what I mean? Right. So they gotta let me get used to them too. Jonathan, he can talk to anybody.
Right.
See, I talk to everybody on the phone multiple times before they come.
Before
every question, everything, and then when they get here, we kind of know each other just a little bit. You know,
that's right.
And then we can go through, fill it out, and a lot of times I can fill out what guys are saying with him if he ain't never met them before.
Right.
I mean, I might give him a lot of crap about a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much how we do it.
Right.
And then once you got your group of guys, that's your focus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you try to befriend everybody,
yes.
But we treat everybody not like a client, but like a friend.
But
that's
those group of guys is your special little group that you got to take care of.
You concentrate on them.
And right, and everybody's got to be treated to that T, like you said, that they feel like they're so welcome, so much looked over, taken care of, and all. And it takes each one of y'all's guys to take them people. You can't do it with everybody. So that guy's got his own job and his responsibility with each group of people he's hunting with. You know. I could see that 100%. So I do think y'all are doing it right. One more thing I was going to hit on, and I know you talked about that because you told me you was trying to figure out, you know, and generating a little more money for the lodge, and that little more money, it ain't. I feel like it with this because, like you talked, it ain't just trying to fatten your pockets, and that's one thing I respect y'all about. Is how can we make this lodge better?
Absolutely.
And how can we put more money into the lodge to make it better?
Get better Can-Ams or vehicles to ride to the woods.
Right.
Fix our stands. Go to a Clover program that we're looking into now. Just different things to make it better.
And that stuff's expensive. I mean, this planting fertilizer, boy, it's high dollar these days.
Go buy groceries.
You know, and those Can-Ams. I mean, you can buy a Chevrolet truck, you know, for what you paying for each the Can-Ams and all. So it's a lot of money goes into a lodge, and you've got to really be doing it right to keep it rolling without putting yourself in the bad side of the bank deal.
That's
you know what I mean?
Right.
I feel that 100%. Now, you told me that you thought y'all are starting to think about putting in some bird fields. Didn't you tell me that?
We got bird fields on other properties that we're associated with.
So y'all gonna bring people in and lodge them and have dove hunts? Are y'all looking at doing that or not really?
Futuristically, right now we're doing it. Me and Ryan are doing it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We'll invite some people out for free and stuff like that.
Right.
Even some of our clients.
Yeah.
Right.
Even some of our
Which
clients.
makes sense. That's
come
a
on down.
you take somebody that I learned that my dad's a big businessman. He's had several businesses and run them, and I learned that you got to take care of people who take care of you.
That's right.
And so if they're a client that's repeated every year, you think they should get that phone call. We're gonna shoot birds this weekend.
Not
you
only
want to
that-
come? You can stay in the room down there and hang out with us for the
Yeah.
weekend. This
Not
is a
only
friend.
that, we do things, trade out hunts with people,
Right.
and we'll trade hunts. They'll come hunt with us, and they'll have a charter down in Key West or over in Apalachicola, and he goes. I don't go fishing much off of the coast. I get sick, but we'll send some of our clients that's been here for 3-4 times and bring in people and say, hey man. We'll get it with the main guy. Say you pick 4 of your guys or 5 of your guys, and y'all go down there for the weekend. You know what I mean? And it's paid for. The fishing trip's paid for
Right.
by us swapping out. It costs us still, but not in cash.
Right.
In hunts for them people to come up here and come hunting with us.
Right.
So we're still paying for it, but we also appreciate the people that's coming to us.
Y'all even hook your barber up. I've had a couple of clients show up there. I'm at Salt Log. I ain't had a haircut in 2 months.
We
And they
do.
told
We
me-
send-
I know. I've been. You know.
Baines,
That's
we
it.
send people to him all the
That's
time.
right. You know, y'all are helping the community whether people know it or not.
We try
you know?
our best.
You know, so. Well, I've really enjoyed this, and like I said, I hope to, maybe we can sit down and do another one because I'd like to get one day we can sit back and we got these chairs we could sit around, and I'd love to put Trey in a couple of. Maybe
Yeah.
a guide or 2 in one of these and really get on some funny, good
Yeah,
stories because I
it'd
know
be some good
y'all.
ones.
I know y'all got some. I ain't going to get y'all to banging up on somebody when they ain't here. We'll put it that way.
Yeah,
'cause
we don't wanna beat up
you know
on
what I
that.
mean? We ain't
I
going to
want
be
them to be
that
able to
way.
defend
That's
themselves.
right. We'll put them in a chair and let them sit there and bang back at each other. But
Ronnie has to defend himself really hard. Just saying.
Yeah.
Really? Huh?
Yeah, I'm glad that we're doing this, not letting him do nothing right now.
Not letting them do nothing. Yeah. All right, but
He'll tell some stuff.
But I appreciate it, y'all, and like I said, y'all got a good thing going, and I hope y'all's business stays strong and you keep God in the middle of it. I think it will, and y'all got it good, and I appreciate you doing it. So till
Thank you.
next time.
Yeah, thank
All
you,
right?
Jamie, for coming out and talking with us.
All righty, man.
Shocking silver queen on my grandma's porch. Peach ice cream churning on the floor. Telling largemouth lies when you're fishing. Girl next door had you wishing on a shooting star in a July sky. 4th and 1 on a Friday night when the muddy water made my soul a little cleaner. Life was good and the tea was a little sweeter.